everybody, Mike Dixon here, Associate Professor of Operations Management. We're continuing our series of Who's Hiring Aggies, and today we're going to talk about some operations and supply chain jobs that are out there. I have Eric Cassity with me, works for JB Hunt. He was a student of ours in our MBA program just last year, graduated at the beginning of this pandemic, finished his MBA and moved on, started his career. So Eric, thanks for being here with us. We're really happy to have you. Can you get us started and kind of tell us a little bit about your progression and how you got to where you're at now?
Yeah, sure. So I did my undergrad at Utah State. I am a full-blooded, true-blooded Aggie.
True Aggie?
And yeah. Then I graduated in 2018 and went directly into the MHR program, Masters of Human Resources, and then did a dual master's with the MBA program you mentioned. While I was in the HR program, I landed an internship by some miracle with JB Hunt, and did an internship in the summer of 2019 with them. And then I must have done something right. They invited me back full-time, and joined them in June. So my wife, Danny, who was my first true Aggie, and I came out here with our puppy, Maverick, who is going to be jingling around in the background here during the call. But that's a bit of background with me. I've been here since June of 2020, and just going through a rotational program and loving it.
Awesome. Thanks, Eric. Can you tell us a little bit of background about JB Hunt? What should we know about him?
So JB Hunt is a transportation and logistics company, but they are not just that. We are rapidly pushing into technology as well. What that means is we now have JB Hunt 360 and a few other opportunities with JB Hunt that provide like brokerage and signing up and getting freight booked. Essentially, it's like Craigslist for shippers and carriers. And so this is an opportunity for us to further penetrate into the market, into the client base, and one of my favorite things about JB Hunt is very much a growth company. There's a lot of potential moving forward. So we've been around for a while, since the 1960s, started in Northwest Arkansas, where I'm currently at, and then rapidly grew into containing our truckload, like over the road kind of trucking, intermodal on the rail. We have final mile services, which is typically like Home Depot, for example, will partner with us. And so it is a JB Hunt truck and employees as Home Depot, going to homes, installing things. We have a large engineering and technology department. And then we have a few other operations and logistics portions of the company, including DCS, which is a big one. That's our dedicated contract services. I apologize if you can hear my dog barking. So essentially, JB Hunt fleets and employees being contracted by our customers to meet their demands in certain areas. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of different business units and things that we do, but the company is ever growing, ever thriving, and 2020 has presented its challenges to everybody for sure, but I've been thoroughly impressed with how JB Hunt's continued to grow through that. But that's just a very brief and novice on my part overview of JB Hunt.
Cool, thanks, Eric. Now, I think it's like this industry of logistics transportation is for a lot of us hidden, right? Like we don't really understand the scope or the size of this industry. I think it's become more apparent during the pandemic when suddenly there's like stuff not on the shelves that we're used to, and so there's like stuff in newspaper articles, sort of talking about supply chain all of a sudden. Like supply chain is now a cool class, awesome, right? But so I mean, like you're in the heart of that. Like that's what JB Hunt does, is about moving stuff across the country, right? And maybe even across the world. It's not just sort of within the U.S., but there's so much going on about trying to get the supply chain to work efficiently and effectively, and that's what JB Hunt is sort of all about, right? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk to us about some of the operations and supply chain jobs that are available at JB Hunt. What should our students know about the positions you guys have up?
So a lot of our, I say entry level, but out of college positions are going to be within 3 of our main business units. I talked about just about all 3 of them. We have our dedicated contract services where fleets are contracted. We have final mile services where we have drivers and employees working out of warehouses where we are storing our customers' merchandise and then shipping and transporting that. And then we have intermodal where trucks are transporting containers to rail yards. They're put onto trains. Trains take them, drop them off at their destination rail yard, and then they're put onto a new truck, taken to the final destination. What roles you can expect for operations, especially operations management, is our entry level or our beginning role is our manager trainee. That's typically going to be about 3 to 6 months of getting to know everything about the account that you're tied to, meaning, and this is honestly one of my favorite parts that I like talking about, when you're tied to these accounts, you're oftentimes on site with the customer, or at least in our warehouse with our customers' merchandise, and you're running it like it's your own business. And so you are working with the drivers and scheduling their routes and their schedules. You are manning the books. You are working with the customers directly, and you are you're handling this entire account like it's your baby. And so you have this opportunity to apply a lot of your knowledge from the business school and from a lot of your different classes, maybe different areas of interest that you have within kind of the business world, I guess, all at once in a very well-rounded experience. And it's almost as if you are an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, but you have the backing of a Fortune 400 company. So I apologize if that's a little too sparkly or too high level, but we have operations internships, which typically most students are going to be going to the closest locations. Salt Lake City has a location there. I believe there should be some internship opportunities. And those are part-time, 6 to 12 weeks. Actually, I think it might be 10 to 12 weeks. And then, like I mentioned, the driver or the manager trainee role. And then after you're through the manager training, which is a job, I say training, but it's, you're paid salary and everything. But when you're done with that, you typically bump right into that transportation manager role. And so you are, no strings attached, no training wheels on handling that account. And so that role falls into all 3 of those business units that I mentioned. And so we do have some opportunities and openings in Salt Lake, as I mentioned, but outside of Utah as well, we have our entire West region, which includes, if you think Western United States, you're right, it's all of that. We have locations all over California, Nevada, Washington, Oregon, but also the rest of the nation. If you're interested in relocating just because it's, maybe there's more opportunity, or you are interested in a certain area. I think that's very much an option for a student coming out of school with a hunger for operations management or supply chain and logistics. But we have openings and to be honest, needs for people to fill some seats and like I said, being hungry to learn all over the country. So
Cool.
kind of a lot. Sorry.
Great. Well, Eric, tell us a little bit more about like what you would be looking for, what JB Hunt's looking for these positions in terms of qualifications from the students, their background. What makes a good candidate for this management trainee job, which sounds awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think typically the majority of hiring managers are going to be looking at things past the surface of GPA and even your degree. Obviously, it's going to be very beneficial if you are majoring in supply chain management or operations management, or even anything else within the business school. But when you get past that, a lot of managers love to look for leadership experience. How do you do with high stress situations? Like I mentioned, you're going to be juggling quite a bit, working with your drivers, working with the customer, managing your account all at once. So well-rounded individuals who can handle that pressure and stay positive, work through it. I don't want it to sound like it's a daunting, sad job, but that's one thing that they're really looking for, is someone who maybe even has a collegiate sports experience where you're used to those high stress situations, working as a team, being a leader. If you have any form of management experience, I know even as a college student myself, I was working at restaurants and jobs that may not look very glamorous on a resume, but if you get experience in situations like that where you are managing or being a team lead, you have experience in leading people and influencing people, I think that's a big one that they look for as well. But I'll double check. I have some notes as well, but I think the people who tend to do best are those who come in and they're ready to learn. They're ready to apply some of their learnings from school, classroom learning, and then some of their life experiences. But being confident and excited to learn, and having some of those leadership or handling stressful situations have been huge benefits in the past as well.
Cool. Thanks, Eric. Kind of the last question I have for you is, talk to us about what a JB Hunt kind of career looks like, projection wise. You started at this and said, after the first few months of the management trainee, you can move into another position right away. What does it look like a few years down the road? Like, what other kind of opportunities are there if you stick around there?
That's a good question. Honestly, I think there are a lot of possibilities within the operations end of things. One thing that I really like to tell candidates is, you may start in one of those 3 business units. Let's say you're in final mile, and for your career progression to continue, there may not be opportunities in final mile, but you can jump through those business units very easily. So if there's something, there's an opening, an opportunity for you to move laterally or vertically moving up, you can jump into a different business unit, from final mile into intermodal or into dedicated contract services. I just thought I'd preface with that, but you typically have opportunities to go from that transportation manager role into other leadership roles and management roles when it comes to, then you take on, I believe, multiple accounts, and then even managing teams of those who are managing accounts, and then managing managers. I know that sounds very vague, but I do have something close by. I'll see if I can pull that up. But okay, yeah. So if you want actual titles and stuff, you would go manager trainee, transportation manager, and then operations manager. Operations manager has 2 levels, so you go from 1 to 2, and then you jump into a director level all the way up until senior director, and then vice president. So I know that there's not a lot of detail within those. I apologize, but holistically, I think there's a lot of opportunity when it comes to where you can end up and where you can continue moving. One thing I really value and really appreciate about JB Hunt is the investment they make into their people. They really want to hire from within. They want to keep the talent that joins them and develops within JB Hunt. And they know that as you gain experience and you prove yourself, you add a lot of value to the company, and therefore they want to keep you around. So they really like to hire from within and bring people up. So there's a lot of opportunity if you're willing to work hard and continue learning and applying what you can. There are a lot of possibilities. Hopefully that helps answer the question. I'm sorry if it's too vague.
Well, thanks, Eric. So before we let you go, let us know what should the students do if they're interested? How do they, what's the next step? How do they apply or get a hold of you, or what should they do to kind of take the next step if they are interested in one of these positions?
You can check out, I apologize. You can check out your Handshake. Typically, we are posting on Handshake. If we haven't recently, I do apologize. We also have most of our jobs are pretty current and posted on jbhunt.jobs. If you want to go there, and you can find them through there, you'll be able to narrow it down, through some of the searches and filters, and find areas you want to work in. If you want to stick within Utah and stay in like the Salt Lake area, you can easily find that. But jbhunt.jobs, you could try checking out Handshake. I'm not entirely positive if we've gotten them posted yet, but and then I think you can even jump on Indeed. We've posted a lot of our roles on Indeed as well.
Cool. Great. Well, Eric, thanks for taking a few minutes with us to talk to us about JB Hunt and what positions you have. Really appreciate hearing from you again and seeing you. So good luck in your career and all that you're doing. And thanks for this time.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me.
All right.